Friends over at the Bleacher Report, good guys over there. Tom William wrote this great article about the curse of the Milan number 9s. So the Milan number 9s have only scored 29 league goals since 2012. Ciro Immobile has 27 goals this season! So during this time, the strikers that they've had at their disposal have been Alessandro Pato, Luis Adriano, Alessandro Matri, Higuain, Torres, Lapadula, Mattia Destro, Andre Silva, and Christoph Piatek. Not bad strikers overall, but the leading goal scorer of this bunch was Gianluca Lapadula. He's not that great of a striker. Alessandro Pato is probably the most talented of this bunch. Blazing speed, had probably one of the fastest goals in Champions League history against Barcelona. He got a little too involved with Barbara Berlusconi. He had injury problems. He only lasted 4 games with the number 9. Granted, the injury problems happened before he changed to number 9 from number 7. But still, he had a lot of talent, and just injury problems plagued him. Other players on that list, Alessandro Matri. Really, his best years were when he was at Juventus. Milan tried to get him on a free, which they did. That didn't pay off. He didn't do anything. Mattia Destro. Tried to get some older strikers, more notable strikers like Fernando Torres. He was at the end of his career, didn't do much in Milan. Gonzalo Higuain. People say he didn't have a good of a career, or a good time at Milan in 6 months. He scored 6 goals. That's not bad. His goal ratio per game was actually better than it is currently at Juventus, but he didn't get his fair shake. Didn't want to be at Milan. It was a building project. I understand that. Luis Adriano, they got from Shakhtar Donetsk. He didn't really fit into our system. It was just I liked the signing at the time, but it didn't fit into our system. The players we had weren't good enough. The banter era of Milan, so I mean, probably why he made the worst 11 the last 10 years, the debauchery list in Milan Weekly Podcast. Andre Silva didn't get another guy with a lot of talent like Rafael Leao. Didn't get his fair shake. He had some opportunities. He scored a lot of goals in Europa League actually, but just didn't fit the system with Gianpaolo, and so it made sense that he had to leave. And then the one that kind of makes it feel like a curse, right, is Christoph Piatek. He was doing sensational things first 6 months at Genoa. Went over to Milan. Was not allowed to have the number 9. He was told you had to earn it by Leonardo. He continued to score goals for Milan for the next 6 months. Ended up with 9 goals in the second half of the season. Very good for a striker. He was just clinical, a true poacher. Right place, right time every time. Over the summer, he switched his number to number 9, and didn't pan out at all. I think he scored a couple goals, penalties, mostly from like different competitions. But again, it didn't work out for him at all. As soon as he changed number 9, was it the number 9's fault? I don't know. So my take on this whole curse thing with the number 9 jersey, I think it's a little bit it's not fair. Honestly, it's not fair. I think it's been a lot of bad luck. Sure, that number 9 comes with a lot of pressure, but say that number 9 is cursed. I think what's the cursed part is the choosing of the strikers throughout the last 7 years with Milan. It hasn't been the best strikers. We've talked about this. We talked about this on the Milan Weekly Podcast not too long ago, this past Monday. What really world-class striker did they have in their hands at that time, in that period? Nobody. Gianluca Lapadula is the leading scorer during that time. Who is he? He's a decent striker, but he's not a player who you consider a top-level striker. The last one they had probably in their midst was probably Klaas-Jan Huntelaar, and he didn't even get a fair shake, right? And so the players that Milan management throughout the years have chosen, in the last 10 years, have been below par, subpar, not worthy of wearing a number 9. They were they were okay players, but they also came to crap teams. So it's really unfair to kind of characterize this as a curse of the jersey. Really, the main problem is not the strikers, it's the team that's been assembled around them, right? The team in the last 7 years have not been very good, have not been a cohesive unit, and therefore, if you're not going to have a good team on the pitch, how are they going to properly set up the striker up top? The striker can't do it alone, can he? You can't bring in Robert Lewandowski, you can't bring in Luis Suarez and expect him to score 30 goals a season with the team that they had over the last 7 years. So the main problem is the management not selecting a team worthy enough to be top level, not worthy to be Milan, not worthy to be in the top, fighting for Scudetto every year, and they have been fighting for Scudetto because the lack of talent that they've had. And so the curse is not the striker, not the number 9 jersey. It is the curse is a selection of the players, the team. And that starts from the top to the bottom. Milan has been very unstable over the last 7 years. Several owners now. They still don't have a clear-cut owner. Yeah, it's Elliott management. But until they get that all sorted out, maybe Ralf Rangnick is going to be the solution. I don't know. But Milan's number 9 problems and problems in general will continue until they can find and regain their identity and build around that. And then, only then, will the striker problems stop. They got a good young core at the moment with a lot of good youngsters like Gigi Donnarumma, Romagnoli, Theo Hernandez. There's a lot of potential all around the pitch, but they need to continue building on that, build up that talent, and then, only then can they get a striker. Maybe Rafael Leao or any one of these guys they have now may cut it, but it's going to be a difficult process for Milan to get rid of this number 9 curse, if you will. And so I think it's more coincidence than a curse. Very similar to what Tom Williams of Bleacher Report is saying. And once again, a very well done article. If you haven't done so yet, please give it a read. Follow Bleacher Report. Excellent content, both writing and, obviously they put their content for like Champions League and stuff. So definitely give them a follow as well. Thank you once again for another vlog series. Let me know how you enjoyed it. We'll keep our eyes on the news for any some hits that coming around all the teams in the league, really. So we've been trying to go from the bottom of the league upwards, but this article came out and I had to jump on it. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And as always, you can follow Serie Sitdown on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You follow us anywhere. Follow our podcast anywhere that streams music. Our podcasts, honestly, like SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio, Apple Podcasts, you name it, we're there. So give us a follow. And once again, we will catch you on the next vlog series. And make sure you're keeping up with us on the airwaves as well. We made some appearances on the Milan Weekly Podcast. Shout out to them. Last night we were on the Calcio Connection with Alex Dono and Jerry Mancini. So definitely give that a listen and a follow. And you will catch us very soon on the podcast. So talk soon, ragazzi. And make sure you tell your paisans about us. Ciao.
1, 2, make it bounce.